Look, if you're a leader, you just don't have time for vague theories. You need results, and you need them now. You need a tactical toolkit to fire up your own motivation, especially on those days when the tank feels completely empty. So let's get to it. Let's build that toolkit right now.
So we're diving into Steve Chandler's fantastic book, 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself. And what we're going to do is distill its most powerful, most actionable strategies specifically for the executive mindset. We're cutting through all the noise to get right to what you can use today. You know, this quote from the jazz legend Charles Mingus just hits the nail on the head for what we're doing here. We are not here to add more complexity to your already busy life. The goal is to give you simple, creative, and really powerful solutions to master your own drive. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to redefine what motivation even is. Then, we'll talk about crafting a vision that actually pulls you forward. After that, we get super tactical, mastering the daily grind, punching through those inevitable slumps, and finally, building your very own motivation control panel. All right, first things first, we have to tear down a huge myth. So many of us think about motivation as a personality trait, right? You either have it or you don't. Well, I'm here to tell you that is just fundamentally wrong. The book makes this really radical point early on. You have no fixed personality. I mean, think about how freeing that is. It means motivation isn't some cage you're born into. It's a strategic skill. It is not a feeling you have to wait for. It's an action you take. It's a muscle you can choose to build every single day. And that brings us to the first major hurdle for leaders everywhere, the vision problem. You know the feeling. You're busy, you're slammed, you're buried in reactive tasks, but you don't feel impactful. It's that nagging sense that there's no clear why driving all this activity.
So, what's the solution to that lack of purpose? It's all about crafting a compelling vision. And let's be clear, a concrete, compelling vision isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have. For an executive, it is a strategic necessity. The book shares this perfect case study. Back in 1976, the author, Steve Chandler, actually had lunch with a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Arnold had just retired from bodybuilding, and his first movie had been a total flop. So Chandler asked him, "What's next for you?"
And Arnold just calmly says, "I'm going to be the #1 box office star in all of Hollywood." And when he was asked how, he laid out his whole strategy. The key word here, the action word, is create. A vision isn't something you just find laying around. You don't wait for it, you create it. You literally make it up, and then you live into that picture like it's already real. Okay, great, you've got the vision. But then, Monday morning hits. The emails, the meetings, the fires to put out. And this leads to the next huge problem for executives, the daily chaos that just completely torpedoes all that big picture thinking. So you gotta ask yourself, is your day running you?
The solution here is to get tactical. It's all about putting simple systems in place to win the day, every single day. It's about shifting from being reactive to being proactive.
This idea from the book is a total game changer for any busy executive. And I know the pushback. I don't have time to plan. But the reality is, you don't have time not to. The ROI is just massive. That one focused hour of planning gives you back 3 hours of focused, productive execution. It's a no-brainer. Real creativity is about simplicity. So think of yourself like a sculptor, just carving away everything that isn't essential. Step 1, identify your absolute core goals for the day. What really matters? Step 2, ruthlessly delegate or just eliminate everything else. And step 3, get efficient by combining related tasks, like all your calls, into a single focused blitz. But look, even with the best vision and the perfect daily plan, it happens. You hit a wall. A project stalls, a big deal falls through, your energy just plummets. All that momentum you built? Gone. What do you do then?
Well, the solution to that inertia, that feeling of being stuck, is often really counterintuitive. It's not about gritting your teeth and forcing a perfect outcome. It's about one thing and one thing only, just getting back into motion.
All right, this is one of the most powerful and maybe a little disruptive ideas in the entire book. If you're stuck, just decide to do the task badly. I'm serious. The goal isn't excellence, not right now. The goal is simply to start. Give yourself permission to write that terrible first draft or make that awkward first call. So why on earth is doing it badly so effective? Well, it's basically psychological judo. It totally bypasses that perfectionist part of your brain that freezes you up.
It absolutely murders procrastination because, hey, the bar is so low, anyone can clear it. And most importantly, it generates immediate momentum and gives you something, anything, to start improving on.
Okay, let's put all these pieces together. It's time to build your own personal control panel. We need to start framing motivation not as some random mystery, but as a system that you can consciously operate whenever you need it. Think about your motivation like the cockpit of an airplane. The amateur pilot just sits there waiting for inspiration to strike. But the pro learns what every single button does and knows exactly which one to push to get the result they want. You can learn to trigger your own motivation on demand.
So it's time to find your buttons. Start building your personal toolkit right now. What's that one playlist that always fires you up? What's the movie clip that gives you chills every time? What are the key quotes or books you can turn to that never, ever fail to shift your perspective? You need to identify them, collect them, and have them ready to go.
We've covered a lot of ground, but honestly, it all comes down to action. You have the framework, you have the tools, so the final question is this, and it's the only one that matters. What is the one small, simple action you will take in the next 10 minutes to put one of these ideas into motion?